Hey there, welcome to my channel B&B Update Us 24. Bold and the Beautiful. Did Lee kill Luna or fake her death? Bold and the Beautiful has Dr. Lee Finnegan announcing the death of Luna Nozawa, once she was done fighting so hard to save her life on the CBS soap. But it makes you wonder if Lee followed through with her duty as a doctor, only to have her protective mother role kick in and end Luna's life in the recovery room. Did Lee do her ethical duty as a doctor and then decide to eliminate the danger for her son's family? Or is something else going on behind the scenes with Lee Finnegan? Bold and the Beautiful. Luna's alive. Lee is lying to everyone. The Bold and the Beautiful. What is Lee Finnegan up to? Bold and the Beautiful threw out a few hints about Lee Finnegan's mindset over Luna Nozawa, even before this triple shooting took place. She talked with Finn about Luna's upbringing. Both this mother and son carried some guilt for not being there for Luna. So, while Lee despised Luna for what she had done, a part of her felt sorry for her. This was a change for Lee, who didn't seem to care for Luna at all after her horrendous deeds. Then, once Lee had Luna on the operating table, she used the term Nozawa power to seemingly bring her back to life. Okay, it was likely a coincidence, but she said it, and Luna seemed to respond by breathing again. It was as if, in that moment, Lee finally recognized Luna as part of her family, after seemingly disowning her. Still, it is what went on in the recovery room that starts another bold and beautiful mystery. B&B. Lee alone with Luna Nozawa. The last thing Bold and the Beautiful viewers got to see of Luna Nozawa is when Lee Finnegan insisted on staying alone with her in the recovery room. Lee sent Dr. Bridget Forrester away, saying she could handle Luna's recovery process alone. Bold and the Beautiful. Lee Finnegan, Luna Nozawa. Then we learn that Luna is dead. Lee comes out to the waiting area and announces that Luna passed away in the recovery room. But depending on which way Bold and the Beautiful goes with this, Luna could still be alive. Remember when Finn was pronounced dead a while back on B&B? Lee orchestrated an elaborate ploy to nurse him back from the dead. Is Lee up to her old tricks again? Bold and the Beautiful. Lee kills Luna, or another fake death. Bold and the Beautiful has done away with Luna's character for now, but that doesn't mean we won't see her again. Lee once went to great lengths to keep Finn alive after he was pronounced dead. She rented an apartment and turned it into something resembling a hospital facility. She finagled a transport of her son to that room. Lee then secretly nursed him back to life, without anyone knowing. So, after Sheila Carter shot Finn, Lee secretly brought him back to life. Now, after confessing to Finn that she felt sorry for Luna Nozawa, you have to wonder if Lee whisked Luna away in the same fashion as she did a seemingly dead Finn. Maybe Lee has plans of locking Luna up and keeping her away from Finn and his family until she can rehabilitate her. Or, did she see a chance in that recovery room and kill her newfound granddaughter to save her son's family from a life of danger? Bold and the Beautiful. Liam's coma changes everything. Soap dirt. B&B. Killing Luna. Or not. Lee Finnegan finagled it so she was alone in the recovery room with Luna on the Bold and the Beautiful. Lee never once faltered as a doctor. She did everything she could to keep Luna alive. But as Finn's mother, she may have seen the opportunity to rid him of a life of grief and end Luna's life. It seems awfully fishy that Lee entered the recovery room by saying she would stay with her niece, and then Luna is dead. She died despite the operation being a success. So, there are a few ways B&B could go with Luna Nozawa's demise. She could have killed her or even possibly faked a death. But it could just be that Luna Nozawa really did die of complications in the recovery room, like Lee Finnegan reported on the CBS soap. Luna's alive. Lee's shocking lie. Bold and the Beautiful sees Lee Finnegan told her sister and everybody else that Luna Nozawa died in recovery after her surgery. But guess what? Looks like Lee is definitely lying and Luna is alive. We're going to talk about some info that was accidentally leaked by another B&B actress that indicates Luna is alive and Lee is telling a big old fat fib. Bold and the Beautiful. Luna's surgery and shocking death announcement. So, if you've been watching this week, Lee and Bridget Forrester did surgery on Luna and it got tense for a few moments and her vital signs went off. They had to defibrillate her. They brought her back from the brink of death. And Bridget and Lee seemed satisfied that Luna was stable when she went into the recovery room. But then Lee comes out into the waiting room and tells her sister Poppy Nozawa, although they tried their best, Luna died in recovery. And Poppy said, "Good. I'm glad she's dead." As Steffi Forrester's and Finn Finnegan's jaws drop, Lee's jaw dropped, too. But let's be clear, Steffi's also happy that she's dead. Bold and the Beautiful, Luna's alive. Lee is lying to everyone. Soap dirt. Poppy's reaction and Lee's disgust. A mother's cruel words on Bold and the Beautiful. So, as the week ends on Bold and the Beautiful, Lee is pulling her sister Poppy into a private room to talk to her one-on-one. Lee is asking how Poppy can say she's glad that her daughter is dead. And Poppy's clapping back on her big sister, giving her a lot of attitude. And Poppy says, how could she say it? Because it's true. And she asks Lee if she wants her to lie about it. And Poppy makes it very clear she is glad to be rid of Luna. Lee is absolutely disgusted with her sister. So on Friday's episode, she tells Poppy she's a horrible mother and a horrible human. And I think we can all agree that's accurate. Lee keeps piling on and says that Luna never stood a chance having a mom like Poppy. Lee's changing attitude towards Luna, Bold and the Beautiful plot twists. And taking all that into account, if you don't look any deeper, then yeah, you may believe that Luna really did die after coming through surgery, okay, even with that close call. But there is more to it. If you think back earlier this week on episodes, Finn was talking to his mom, Lee, in his office at the hospital, and he was really surprised by what she said. So Lee told Finn that Luna was not born bad. She said she just turned out dangerous because Poppy was a terrible bed-hopping, drug-using, terrible, bad parent. So, it seems really weird all of a sudden over this past week that Lee's done what looks to me like a complete 180 about Luna because in the past Lee trash-talked Luna to Finn. Lee was even the one who tackled Luna and handed her over to the cops after she put Steffi in a cage, and she was absolutely horrified to find out that Luna is the product of her sister and her son Finn even though they're not blood-related. That is still his aunt by adoption. It's just gross. So, of course, Finn was really surprised when his mom Lee seemed to change her tune on Luna. Script leak reveals Luna's fate. Is she really dead on Bold and the Beautiful? And then we also saw a very credible leaker who's been getting photos and videos out of B&B somehow, and they said that after the shooting, Liam Spencer falls into a coma. Sheila Carter loses a toe and Luna Nozawa dies. And that appears to be happening one by one, but all may not be as it seems. We know how Bold likes to say people died and they didn't die. Like Sheila supposedly died, but it was sugar. Finn supposedly died, but that's not how it went at all. So, you just can't trust them. Bottom line. So when Lee dealt with Luna flatlining in surgery, I kind of expected that to go badly and Lee would lose her on the table and call time of death and then Luna survived. And I was like, okay, that's weird because this leaker is super accurate. So I thought maybe she dies later. And then Lee trots out and says, yeah, Luna died in recovery. Everybody's in the room. Bold and the Beautiful leak. Luna's still around. But the big leak that Luna survives comes not from the leaker we've been getting this good stuff from, but from a social media post that was made on June 29th, and it was Brooke Logan actress Catherine Kelly Lang that did this, we assume on accident. She posted a photo of a pile of Bold and the Beautiful scripts that she was shooting. And the one on the top was for an episode they were shooting the next day on June 30th for an episode that won't air until September 8th. Originally, the script caught people's eyes because it showed Liam was on the episode when everybody was expecting him to be dead of cancer by then. And the thing is that came out before anybody knew that Luna was going to shoot 3 people and somebody was going to die and that Liam was one of the people shot. Bold and the Beautiful. All signs point to Lee lying. But now with this reveal where that Lee is saying Luna died, we took another look at that script and it's super interesting because Luna is listed as appearing on that September 8th episode and that's almost 2 months from now. So that's not a funeral. That's not a memorial service. That's weird, right? 'Cause Lee just told Poppy Luna is dead. So the math isn't mathing. And this script leak that shows Luna on screen in September. That definitely to me looks like Lee is lying to Poppy. It didn't look like she died and then there was no other info in between. But then we know she's there in September. Bold and the Beautiful. Will Lee save Luna? A redemption story or sibling rivalry? So, everybody thinks Luna Nozawa is dead. Here's what I suspect is happening. Remember when Sheila shot Finn and he supposedly died? Lee snuck him out of the hospital into that secret little apartment and she was nursing her son back to health and Finn was in really bad shape. It was like he was in a coma and Lee let everybody think that he died from the gunshot wound. Then Sheila came in because she had followed her. She attacked Lee and she took over with Finn and ran Lee off the road and they thought she died. Anyway, bottom line, Bold could be repeating that plot. Clearly Brad Bell decided for some reason to all of a sudden make Lee sympathetic towards Luna. So yeah, if Lee thinks her granddaughter deserves better than Poppy, I can see trying to save her. Lee might nurse Luna back to health in secret like she did with Finn. Maybe Lee thinks she can be a better mother than Poppy and can save her. Bold and the Beautiful. Can Lee fix Luna? I mean, Lee really hates her sister, and this may be some sort of ultimate sibling rivalry vendetta in the momhood arena. Plus, I think when Lee looks at Luna, she wants to see the good parts. The parts that came from Finn, not the garbage parts that came from Poppy. You know, maybe Lee thinks she can rehabilitate Luna and then get her out of town, start a fresh new life elsewhere. If Luna gets this new chance, it would be her third chance because she already got a second chance from Bill Spencer with that pardon and she screwed that up. The question is, if Lee lied because the leak script shows Luna on air in September, can Lee make this work? Can she save Luna from her bad impulses? Can she undo the damage that Poppy did? It could be that they are just writing Luna out for a bit so Lisa Yamada can go do her new Prime series. Then we may see Luna with her aunt Grandma Lee and then, she goes off screen or she sticks around. Bold and the Beautiful. Luna redemption coming? I mean, it's not beyond the realm of possibility that Brad Bell is trying to find some bizarre way to redeem Luna the way he did Sheila if he wants her to stick around, even though it would be preposterous. Lisa Yamada just got a Daytime Emmy Award nomination alongside Christian Weissman who plays Remy Price. Remy has been good, but Lisa Yamada as Luna has been great. So, I can see they want to keep her around, So, maybe this Lee thing is a big redemption plot. I mean, you would think you would have thought years ago Sheila was irredeemable, but Brad Bell forced it through. And that may be what we are getting with Luna and this Lee twist. The Bold and the Beautiful, a storm of emotional detonations, betrayals, and heartbreaks so staggering that fans are still picking their jaws off the floor. Just when we thought we'd seen it all, the show delivered not one, not two, but 3 jaw-dropping moments that changed the landscape of the canvas forever. First, there was the moment that left viewers clutching their seats. Steffi confronting Bill Spencer over Liam's near-fatal shooting, a confrontation so raw, so blisteringly emotional, that it felt like watching a car crash in slow motion. Steffi, equal parts rage and heartbreak, stood in Bill's face, her eyes ablaze, and hissed, "He was your son. And you let this happen." The accusation cut deeper than anything Bill had heard in years, and for good reason. While Bill has long danced on the edge of morality, his decision to interfere in Liam's life, possibly manipulate events behind the scenes, or ignore signs of danger, left Steffi believing that Liam's blood was on his hands. And for a moment, even Bill wasn't sure she was wrong. The tension was volcanic. You could hear a pin drop. Watching Steffi unleash years of built-up resentment and grief was like witnessing a mother lion defend her cub, only in this case, the cub had been shot, and the predator might have been wearing a designer suit and billion-dollar smirk. The scene was a masterclass in acting, pacing, and emotional devastation, and it marked a turning point, not just for Bill and Steffi, but for the entire Spencer Forrester dynamic. It wasn't just personal. It was war. But before fans could even recover from that emotional gut punch, the next moment struck like lightning. Sheila Carter, the infamous villainess, breaking down over Luna's tragic death in a way that few ever expected. Sheila, known for her icy manipulation, her deadly schemes, and her unflinching stare, was utterly shattered. Her grief wasn't performative. It was real, guttural, and terrifyingly human. Alone in a dimly lit room, clutching a photograph of Luna, Sheila crumbled, sobbing, gasping, shaking. And in that single moment, we saw not the monster, but the mother, the broken, remorseful, guilt-ridden woman who, for all her faults, truly loved her granddaughter. "I should have protected her," she whispered, her voice barely audible through the sobs. She was the one thing in this world that made me want to be better. The depth of that sorrow stunned longtime fans who'd never seen Sheila this vulnerable. Was it a performance? A con? Or had Luna's death finally pierced the impenetrable armor of a woman who had spent decades turning her heart into stone? The answer didn't matter. What mattered was the humanity, raw, bleeding, and exposed. For a character long written as unredeemable, this was a stunning shift. It didn't erase her past, but it reminded us that even the worst villains can feel love and pain. And viewers couldn't look away. And then, as if the week hadn't already destroyed every emotional boundary we had, The Bold and the Beautiful delivered the third and wildest twist of all, a secret letter from Luna to Finn, revealed posthumously, that changes everything we thought we knew about her, her past, and her future. As Finn sat alone, haunted by memories and riddled with guilt over his connection to Luna's death, he found the letter tucked away in her journal. The moment he read the first line, "If you're reading this, something went wrong," the tone shifted to something otherworldly. What followed was an emotional confessional where Luna bared her soul, admitted to a long-held secret, and dropped a bombshell. She wasn't who they thought she was. The letter suggested that Luna had uncovered a truth so damaging, about her paternity, about a cover-up involving Poppy, and possibly about her own twin, that she feared for her life. And worse, she feared that someone in their inner circle was behind it all. The implications were massive. Was her death really an accident? Had she been silenced? Finn's hands trembled as he read the final line, "Don't trust anyone, not even the ones who say they love you." That final chilling warning sent Finn spiraling. What if Luna had been right? What if the people around them, his own family, were part of something darker, something calculated? That single piece of paper detonated a narrative bomb so big, it promises to redefine the entire next arc of the show. Finn's grief, his rage, and his quest for the truth now take center stage, and nothing will be the same again. These three moments, Steffi's volcanic confrontation with Bill, Sheila's soul-crushing breakdown over Luna, and Finn's discovery of Luna's secret letter, weren't just shocking. They were earthquakes, emotional aftershocks that will ripple through Los Angeles for weeks, if not months. The writers took bold swings this week, but each landed with a thunderous bang. The pacing, the performances, the fearless character exploration, it was soap opera storytelling at its finest. And in a genre often mocked for its melodrama, The Bold and the Beautiful proved once again that when it wants to hit hard, it hits like a freight train. Fans took to social media in droves, some in tears, some screaming at their screens, others simply stunned into silence. Twitter trended with hashtags like #SheilaShattered, #SteffiVSBill, and #Luna's Letter, while comment sections filled with theories, reactions, and calls for Emmy nominations. And who could blame them? When a soap can deliver not just plot, but emotion, real, painful, gut-wrenching emotion, it becomes more than just a show. It becomes a cultural moment. This week was that moment. We laughed, we cried, we screamed, and we grieved. And we're still catching our breath.